Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Roll for the Galaxy. Roll for the Galaxy is a game published by Rio Grande Games, designed by Tom Lehman, who designed Race for the Galaxy, which is the game this is based off of, and co-designed by Wei Hua Wong. I probably said that incorrectly, I apologize. Plays 2 to 5 players, 45 minutes, 14 plus. Age is questionable, but the time is probably spot on. So effectively what you're doing in this game is you are taking on the role of like a space corporation, and you're trying to develop and settle different colonies and planets in space. And you're going to be doing that by rolling these cool dice and assigning them to different actions to make the best of what you can. That's it. This is a game where people are going to select actions. If someone selects that action, then everyone gets to take the action. But if no one selects it, no one gets to do it, and you could have stuff assigned to it, you're out of luck. But you might want to do 4 actions, but you can only select 1. So there you go. So if you want to see how that works, you can go down to the table, or click the link in the video description, and I'll go down to the table, and we can play through a few rounds of it. Otherwise, stick around here, and we'll take a look at the components. All right, so let's take a look at the components for Roll for the Galaxy. All right, so this is a pretty big box. It's like Ticket to Ride style size, which I don't necessarily think is needed other than this big bag, but we'll get to that. So first off, let's look at the dice, because this is what this game's all about. Tons of different dice here. They have different breakdowns on the faces. So this is the worst die. Some of them specialize in other actions. There's like a breakdown here on the player aid. You can see how they, each of the different sides. Some of them don't have any faces. Some of them have multiples, all that kind of thing. So the consumption die, the purple one, lets you do a lot of shipping. There you go. So tons of dice. They feel awesome. They're little, but they're fun. Lots of cardboard tiles. These are the action tiles. That's valid or active. That's inactive. Pretty simple. Victory point chits. I don't really love these, but it is what it is. That's 5. This is a 1. And these are 10. So there you go. The player board is pretty cool. It just gives you a money track here. Places to put your used dice. Kind of how you're going to get dice out of here and into there. Places to put developments and planets. Your action selection piece here that's going to be behind your player screen, because again you have this huge player screen here that's going to kind of go like this, so you can do everything you need to do in secret and all that kind of thing. So there you go. Cool cup to put your dice in. Not necessary, you can just roll with your hand, but a cup is fun. And then a huge bag, and it's a huge bag. Look at that huge bag filled with tiles. Look at all those tiles in there. Tons of tiles. All the tiles are double-sided. They have a development on one side and a world on the other. So you get a pick when you're taking the tile which side you want to go on. The planets usually give you some kind of one-time ability, points. Then the developments usually give you points, and then some kind of special power to help you during the phases. It's not always the case, but that's most of the case. So again, those are all the components. Components are really nice. Oh, these little cool little guys too, with the blue and go. This is your money tracker. Could have just been a cube, but the little astronaut guy's fun. So there you go. So those are the components for Roll for the Galaxy. Let's talk about what we think about the game. Okay, so this is a game that I've played a couple times now. I've played it at 4 and I've played it at 2. And it feels the same basically at all player counts. At 4, you may have a possibility of getting 4 different action selections. At 2, you're going to roll this extra die that could possibly give you a 3rd action to take, which is pretty cool. And you're basically just trying to be as efficient as you can with your dice. Different colored dice are going to have different vibes. They're going to have different sides. They're going to be worth, they're going to do different things. Some of the tiles may give you extra points for certain colors. Some of them you can sell for more money and all that kind of thing. There's wild dice. There's wild faces that you can use to do whatever you want. So you're trying to basically take the route that you want to take. Not really worried about what anybody else is doing. It is kind of a race though, so you want to do your part faster than them. And you just want to build tiles, score points, and get a nice little engine going. So you can always have money to have dice. You have the dice that you want. You have the colors that work with your planets and all that kind of thing to just win the game. That's it. It's got a lot more going on than that, but at its heart, that's what it is. You're going to be rolling some dice, and you're going to be assigning those dice and taking an action. Now, there is a lot of mitigation for these dice, actually. When you roll, you can turn one die basically to a wild to select your action. So if I really wanted to explore and I didn't roll any eyeball signs, which is this one, I can turn any die or take any die I want to, and it can be an explore for me. So I can take that action guaranteed. So every turn you're guaranteed to be able to take one of the actions that you want to take. There's also a dictate action, which you can basically spend a die, and then it turns another die into something else. So right off the bat, every turn you can mitigate 2 dice for sure. And then other tiles that you build are going to let you do that. Some of them are going to function as, maybe turning other dice into wilds. You can empty stuff out of your, like get rid of some white dice to get colored dice that you want. So there's a ton of mitigation. There's tons of ways to make the dice work for you. So even though it is a dice game, there's a lot of control. It's not just all random, see what happens. You have a lot of control, and you can do what you want to do, play the way that you want to play, and that's what I like about it. So I really have no issues with this game. It's easy to teach. I haven't played race. I've looked through the race rulebook, and it seems like it's got a little bit more iconography, heavy. This one's not like that because, yes, it has iconography on the tiles, but it also has text that says exactly what it does. So iconography doesn't even need to be there, but if you can look at it quickly, like, hey, I get to get rid of a die and get 2 red ones, and then that's what it says. But yeah, it's super easy to teach. This thing tells you how to set up, tells you what to do on your turn, what all the actions do, how you're going to spend dice and get points. This is fantastic. You don't even need a rule book if you have this thing. So fantastic game. I'm a huge fan. This was sent to me by Rio Grande, so keep that in mind, but that's not swaying my opinion because I really do like the game. So I'm going to give this a BGM accept the seal. This is going to get an 8.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a, let me do the math, 4.25 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Roll for the Galaxy from Rio Grande Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.